What do you feel about that hitting the wall phrase?
I think it's an accurate depiction of a natural phenomenon. I think that women do reach a certain point in their life where their value, when I say value, I mean value in the eyes of men specifically, does decrease when they reach a certain age. In terms of fertility, obviously you're older, you're not as attractive, but also like you've had more life experience, and I think the majority of men want a woman that hasn't had a lot of life experience because they want to build that life with you.
Women are now realizing that life is not what feminism made it out to be, what family was made out to be. They changed all the rules and have effectively killed any chance of actual happiness. Life takes away opportunities when you make choices. You cannot have it all. Now women are reaping the consequences of what they've done. Contrary to what they frequently claim, it is safe to state that women are just not prepared to face the wall. What exactly is the wall? It isn't a physical or actual wall. It's actually a moment when a lady has passed her prime age, and SMV. In the last 10 years, this concept has become more and more well-liked. Men and women have always known this, but it wasn't always as publicly acknowledged or talked about as it is now. There are women who will absolutely agree to this, and then there will be some who will totally deny this. Women in their 30s hit the wall. Their value in the scale of desirability drops by significant levels, especially after 40. However, many women deny this. They can't deny the laws of biology. But now, we are witnessing more and more women finally accepting the wall and the ruthless reality it holds for their future. Many women in their early 30s have more than 20 years of proven success catching men's attention. Men have and always will desire to date women in their prime, even when they are as young as their early 20s or as elderly as their 50s and 60s. Many women have told me tales of how, when they were in their mid-20s, shady 50-year-old guys would hit on them, and that, when they were 25, high school boys would try to get them to go out on dates with them. In this sense, the world is our oyster, but not the world of the woman. This is due to the fact that women reach their adult potential in their 20s, and after that, their value begins to drop. While for men, they start to peak after their 30s, and their value only increases up until their 50s. Most women can easily attract the attention of men of any age when they are in their 20s, but beyond the age of 30 to 35, when their appearance starts to deteriorate, the attention of teenagers, 20-somethings, and even men of their own age starts to fade as they start to focus on younger women instead. Many women believe that the men in their age groups don't treat them fairly. Women who are 35 years old question why guys their age don't want to date and marry them. The truth of the matter is that a 35-year-old man with a job, money, and a car can entice younger, more attractive women in their 20s. Most men need a year or two to get to know a woman before becoming engaged and then getting married. As a result, if a guy marries a 35-year-old woman after going through this process, she won't give birth until she's 38, which will significantly reduce her odds of having children. A woman in her early to mid-30s must begin considering men in their late 30s, 40s, and perhaps even 50s as potential suitors. Many of these older men are now the only ones left on the market because they have already had children and marriages. If these men are divorced, they likely already have children, and they might want a second wife. Some of the mid-30s women I know don't seem to want to accept this. They claim that only older men are looking at them, and they find it repulsive. These same ladies spent their 20s hopping from one fling to another, and now they're confused about what happened. They didn't anticipate finding themselves in this situation, and things weren't supposed to turn out this way. Many of them find it shocking that men select women rather than women selecting men. It's challenging for women to accept that they aren't being pursued in the same way they once were, since the natural order of relationships has been turned in favor of males. Only a small percentage of guys who have been physically burned by women have an understanding of the plight of women in their 30s are now the men they choose to date instead of the entire male side of the human race. It's even worse for women who have an obsession with having babies. They don't care how they can get one because they want a child so desperately. They will sleep around unprotected and claim to be taking the pill when they are not. I met a man who had 3 children in 3 years with 3 separate women, all of whom claimed to be taking the pill. He is currently supporting 2 children and residing with the lady who gave birth to his 3rd child. I used to believe that once their friends started having babies, a lot of ladies my age would start having children as well, especially in the group of individuals I hang out with. Many of my female friends who are in partnerships and are in their mid-30s have decided against having children at all. A lot of the ladies in groups of 10 to 15 who hang out together choose not to have children. Due to the fact that these 35-year-old ladies are still partying and clubbing as they did in their 20s, the few women who did have children are no longer accepted into this particular social circle. I find it revolting that women go to cougar clubs in an effort to meet 25-year-old males. Most of these 25-year-old males only worry about getting laid, which severely undermines the self-esteem of many women. However, they don't seem to give a damn. They want to continue the party for just a little bit longer before they reach middle age because they need the attention of young, handsome men. Many women experience the second wall in their early to mid-40s, and by that time, many have lost the capacity to entice even 20-year-old gentlemen who are only interested in physical intimacy. They typically begin gaining weight and enter menopause at that time. Asian and Black women age more slowly than white women, yet once they start to lose their beauty, many of them age rapidly. In the space of a few years, a 38 or 39-year-old Asian lady may transform from looking like she's 29 or 32 to looking as if she's in her early 40s. I may not be seeing the wall that appeared 10 years before she turned 40 since I am a white dude. If I'm incorrect, do let me know. This is simply my observation, and I'd be interested in learning more about this specific issue. Women often mature earlier than men do when they are teenagers because they have historically had the reproductive advantage when it comes to passing on their genes. This is because, especially at times in our history when resources were scarce, the earlier women mature, the higher the prospects are for the survival of our species. They will, however, wither earlier as well because they flower earlier. Men with money and resources are more likely to attract women, and smart men who put out the effort and save money will only become more alluring to women over time. Men, on the other hand, are drawn to women because of their capacity for reproduction. The aging process can be compared to a game of poker full of deception and different types of misdirection where both sides are involved. For example, if a man and a woman were playing poker in their early 20s, the man starts with 1 chip and the woman has 90, but by the time they are 35, he has 85 of those chips and she has only 6. Your financial resources have a significant impact on your status and alternatives in real life, just like in poker. More women than men that I am aware of wasted their money rather than saved it when they were young. They would go on trips, purchase shoes, have supper out a couple of times a week, and hang out a lot with their pals. When they are in their mid-30s, they would also spend a lot of money on makeup and cab fare. Numerous women I know have openly admitted to me that they are looking for a sugar daddy to assist them in paying off their debts. For women, the aging wall can be a huge psychological blow. Men age considerably more slowly than women do, and once they are in their mid to late 30s, they are more willing to date a variety of 20-something women. My single friends hold the majority of the cards and poker chips in the new dating game, but since I recently made many of them aware of men going their own way, they are giving up the game and focusing on finding their own happiness. So, the issue is not whether it is fair or unfair for women to mature early and reach their SMV saturation point in their 30s. Rather, in my opinion, the issue is how rarely women are open to the reality that is in front of them. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. And let us know your thoughts on this in the comments. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.